Hello everyone, my name is Catherine Beltran. I'm a lead coach here at Simplicity Ops, and today I want to talk to you about workflows. Well, I'm going to talk to you about an aspect of workflows known as whiteboarding. Whiteboarding is that first step in the actual process of building your new workflow. This is where you can actually have kind of like a brain dump. You're taking everything that you have up here and you're throwing it out into a Word document to make it where it's again just kind of chaotic, but you know everything that goes into the process itself. Now, I am going to stress, you want to start outside of the CRM here. And again, it's just so that way you can have all of those different ideas. It doesn't have to go into a certain order, and you're just getting it out into the world. When you do it this way, you're actually going to start to answer those frameworks of what makes up the workflow by establishing steps, tasks, outcomes, and due dates, again, without even realizing it. But why should you start outside of the CRM? What's this whole concept of whiteboard? This is because when you're in the CRM itself, it can be a little bit tricky. It's actually super clunky in terms of moving and reordering tasks. If you start outside of it, you don't have to worry about that. The second and bigger reason is because of buy-in. If you have one person who's building, establishing it, doing all of the work with the actual workflow, chances are high others are not going to adopt it. We want to make sure that everyone is going to actually use the workflows that we build by incorporating their voice into the actual building part of the workflow. The last one happens naturally, and that's actually taking that first step towards creating tribal knowledge. Again, if we're getting everyone's input into what goes into that workflow, I might know how certain things work and then not realize what my coworker does. We're getting everyone onto literally the same page. So I hinted at it earlier. I'm going to stress it again right now. Where should you really begin? Keep it simple. Microsoft Word. This is again really just going to be your way to dump all of those different tasks that you have in your actual workflow. So what we did down here is we just created a list of all of the different tasks that we have for a Benny change workflow. Again, it's not necessarily in order just yet, and that's what we're going to do now. We have a list, and now we want to create that organization. So when I come down here, the first question I want to ask myself, what needs to be done first? If I take a look at this list and I go, you know what? Actually, this obtain information is the very first thing that needs to be done. I'm going to hit that cut them up right underneath step one here, hit paste. That's the first thing. Second thing, what has to happen next? I'm going to come on down here again, consult my list. And if I realize, you know what? This prepare and send paperwork needs to happen next. Before I immediately just hit cut, come on up under here under obtain information, paste it. I don't want to do that just yet. I want to ask myself kind of a third question. Can this be done at the same time? If I find myself saying, yep, I can prepare and send the paperwork at the same time I can obtain the information, I'm going to paste it right below that. If I answer, however, no, I want to obtain the information first. And then once that's completed, prepare and send the paperwork. You have just had a step 2 enter into the arena. Steps have to be done in a specific order. So again, if I have established obtain information needs to happen first, I'm going to go ahead and paste that task under step 2. I'm going to do the exact same process of asking those 3 questions. What has to be done first? What happens to me next? And hey, can I do this at the same time? If I can ask those questions and answer them, the rest of this is going to be like clockwork. It's going to be a lot of cut, paste. And once you're finished with that, you're going to establish how many steps you have, where those tasks lay, and then from there, you're going to backfill when these actually need to be done. Once you have it in a nice, beautiful organization, it's going to look like this, where you have all of those step names, all of those task names, when it needs to be done, where this can then be very, again, turnkey and cut and paste into the CRM.